We are pleased to host Shri Piyush Goyal sir. Respected sir, currently is the Minister of Commerce and Industry, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Textiles, and leader of the Rajya Sabha. His previous portfolios include Minister of Railways, Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Minister of Coal, Minister of State for Power, New and Renewable Energy and Mines. Sir has an excellent academic record. All India second rank holder chartered accountant and second rank holder in law in Mumbai University. Sir has also been a well-known investment banker and advised top corporates on management strategy and growth. It is a pleasure to host you today, sir, and we're extremely keen on hearing from you. The floor is all yours. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, friends, for giving me this opportunity to talk to you, to meet with the students and the esteemed faculty of the IIM Lucknow. My best wishes to you for the year and years ahead, and for each one of you in your careers ahead of you. This has been quite an iconic event over the years, and I believe it's a 40-year-old legacy. I would have loved to join you in person and meet your students in your beautiful campus, but we've had a very, very exhaustive parliament session and lots to catch up in Delhi, because of which I haven't been able to travel with you to Lucknow, but truly delighted to engage with each one of you. I believe your motto is unleash the infinite. Very exciting, given the times that we are all in. We are living in both challenging times and times which are pregnant with opportunities. As the echoes of Amrit Kal come to our ears, as the youth of Bharat prepare themselves to engage with the world from a position of strength, with full confidence, with full self-respect, as India gets recognized across the world as a trusted partner, a friend. I think the Amrit Pidi that each one of you represents will continue to make India proud, will continue to aspire for very big goals, and run with ideas, with effort, with ability, and go for the moon. In fact, I think we'll have to change that phrase in the Indian context. We've gone now beyond the moon. The Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, the other day called each one of you the Amrit Pidi, pillars of Viksit Bharat at 2047. And the fact that you have kicked off this fest with the Run for Swachhata makes me believe that you are all committed to the various pillars of Viksit Bharat, to the various building blocks that will help us make India a developed and prosperous nation in the next 24, 25 years. And undoubtedly, it's only when we unleash the youth power, full of energy, full of aspiration, full of capabilities and talent, that we can aspire for big goals. In fact, today is the death anniversary of the ideologue of my party, one of the founders of the Bharatiya Jansangh, the party from which the Bharatiya Janata Party finally came out. And if one was to remember the thoughts of Pandit Deendayal Upadhyay, if one were to read his ideology, his vision, his thoughts, he was one of the first to dream of an inclusive development for every person born in the country. He was one of those early thinkers of holistic development of every Indian, every child born in our beloved motherland. And his theory of integral humanism, where he spoke about the last man at the bottom of the pyramid and said that unless the nation's resources are put to use to help him or her get a better quality of life, help the person most marginalized, most unfortunate, those who have been deprived of the good things of life for years, decades, and centuries, unless we all look towards them, not with sympathy, but with empathy, unless we care for their better future, India can never become a developed nation. India can never find itself as a noble nation. He spoke about Antyodaya. He spoke about the development of a human being going beyond material wealth. And I think the last 10 years that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been in government, when he has reshaped not only India's destiny in terms of the economy, but reshaped our country's image across the world, when he has redefined the way India looks to the world and the way the world looks to us. I think this remarkable turnaround from a lost decade to a nation on the move, this journey from a fragile five to a top five economy, this journey from a country recognized more for scandals, fiscal profligacy, poor management of the economy, to a nation well on track to become the third largest, maybe in the next 3 years, well on track to become a $35 trillion economy in the next 25 years on the back of our young population expected to be continue to be young for the next 30 years, full of dynamism, full of enthusiasm, full of talent, skills. I think from a period of policy paralysis to a nation which analyzes everything that is happening, a nation which is today performing, which is redefining our ambitions, which is working towards inclusive and sustainable development to reach everybody across the length and breadth of the country. The country has come a long way. And you, my dear friends, are going to be the flag bearers of the future who will determine whether all this work to develop a strong, macroeconomic fundamental in the economy, to build a country which has moved from a sorry state to a solid state, a country which is, if I may dare say today, the envy of the world in terms of fast economic growth, in terms of 250 million people coming out of poverty, getting into the new middle class, providing huge amount of demand for goods and services, which spurs economic growth. A country which is creating beautiful infrastructure across the country. And you and Uttar Pradesh are blessed to have a state which, despite having the largest population, is a state which cares for that large population, which has converted that large population to advantage, which has built modern infrastructure, the new highways that have come up in Uttar Pradesh, the tourism destination that Uttar Pradesh has now become. The fact that India's exports are now seeing an increasing share from Uttar Pradesh. Industry is moving to Uttar Pradesh. Law and order is probably amongst the best in the country. We are today living in times where the quality of life is also improving, along with ease of living and ease of doing business. Friends, the Modi government, in a way, is a living testimony to using management principles in government. If I can share with you 8 or 10 commitments, let's say, or 10 principles on which one could easily bracket the various initiatives and work of the Modi government. One, for every problem, we do a root cause analysis to get to the root of the problem and find robust, sustainable solutions. Two, we believe in stakeholder engagement. We partner with all of you, we partner with the people of India. You heard the Honorable Prime Minister only yesterday saying, or day before yesterday, at the Global Business Summit, where he said he's prepared a blueprint, his vision for the country for the next many years is ready. But he didn't prepare it alone. He took ideas from of feedback from 1.5 million people. 15 lakh people contributed to his vision for the future of India. So partnership with all stakeholders is our second principle. Decisive leadership is something I don't need to tell anybody who's living and studying in Uttar Pradesh. I think Prime Minister Narendra Modi or your Chief Minister epitomize decisive leadership. And a listening government with decision-making capabilities is a perfect mix that helps the country and the economy grow and do good for the people of the country. So a strong, decisive leadership. Point 4, an outcome-oriented action defines our government. Every action that we take, the outcomes are our focus. It's not just an outlay. It's not just that we spend money on a particular program. The outcome is important, how it will benefit the country and the people of the country. Fifth, the rule of law is respected, is followed to the T. There's transparency in every action that we take. There's complete honesty and sincerity of purpose in whatever action this government does. Sixth, we prioritize issues. We understand that everything will not happen overnight, but we prioritize what needs to be done fastest. And by the way, Swachhata was one of the priorities of this government, which was ridiculed by many people. But I think each one of you in this room will appreciate the importance of Swachhata to health, to our very life, to tourism, to the economy in every respect. I mean, I'm sure the beautiful room that I see that you're all sitting in, you wouldn't like to do the same seminar or the same program in a venue which is all dirty and full of muck. So we've prioritized issues to good effect. Seventh, time-bound execution is another area that Prime Minister Modi focuses very particularly on, with a razor-sharp focus. It's not just that it's monitored peripherally. The time-bound execution is one of the most important criteria to define performance. Eighth, innovative financing models. I think there are many projects where newer and newer financing models are being taken up. It's not always just the traditional government spends money and leaves it to, to just whatever happens with that money. How that money will be raised, how it will be used, how it will be audited, all of that has undergone a sea change in the last few years. And innovative financing models are today being used to fund the large amount of development and welfare expenditure in the country. Ninth, there's a deep technology focus, much more than ever before. In all our actions, you will find technology plays a very important role. And of course, digitization of the country, with 4G now reaching the length and breadth of the country, indigenously developed 5G becoming also something the world could never believe can happen in India. The fastest rollout of 5G in India, India's own development of newer technologies, all of this technology focus is the India of the 21st century. And finally and lastly, accountability and monitoring of all our programs. Everything that we do, there's monitoring of the program, monitoring of the actions, and people are held accountable for their actions. People are held accountable for the outcomes that are required to make India a developed nation by 2047. Friends, as the Honorable Prime Minister says, your dreams are my resolution. I hope you will continue to engage with the government, with President Modi. You will send us new ideas, new thoughts, new ways to improve the nation's journey of progress faster and better. Many of you may be first-time voters. I hope I have your assurance. Not that you will necessarily cast your vote for one party or the other, but each one of you will go out there and cast your vote. If you're not registered, please register as a voter. It's simple. There's an online process. You can register today itself. And only when you cast your vote will you get good quality of governance, will you get the right to question what goes wrong, because your rights come with great responsibility. And I think each one of us, as responsible citizens of India, it is our duty to participate in the elections, cast our vote, focus on a good government serving this country in the future. Keep the nation first. Let's all of us work together And when we all come together, when 140 crore Indians come together, no power on earth can stop us from becoming a developed or a prosperous country. Rather, a developed and a prosperous country by 2047. Thank you very much, friends.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wise words and wisdom. I'm sure each one of us grateful from the core of our hearts with what you have mentioned today. And especially if we are going to take ahead from how India has come from a soil state to a solid state. I personally am going to use this, so thank you so much. So, sir, I would like to mention that we had floated a form wherein we have some questions from our aspiring leaders at IIM Lucknow, and we would request if you could share some moments with us to answer the same. So, sir, our first question comes from Aditya Jain. His question is that given your extensive experience in both the private and public sectors, what key leadership qualities do you believe are essential for navigating such complex government ministries and driving such impactful change? So, as aspiring leaders, we would like to know, sir.
Aditya and all the friends gathered here, I think it's very elementary. The rules of life don't change whether you're in the private sector or the public sector. As long as